Welcome to the Dirty Verdict Podcast, where your hosts, trial lawyers Kyle Herbert and Bill Ogden, and mediator Peter Taaffe talk with interesting lawyers and break down recent legal news in detail. Here's Kyle, Bill, and Peter.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Dirty Verdict Podcast. I'm Peter Taaffe.
I'm Kyle Herbert.
I'm Bill.
And we have the third of the trifecta, Bill Ogden.
We are officially a tripod.
Bill was promoted last week to deputy probationary non-equity partner in the Dirty Verdict
Assistant to the assistant regional manager, but we'll see. We'll see if his application gets accepted.
And we've got our special return guest, Angelina. Thank you for coming.
Angelina, thanks for being here. I feel like it'll be hard to recreate the conversation we've all had the last 30 minutes, but we're going to do our very best.
I'm terrified to recreate it, but okay.
So, Angelina, last week, we had a more substantive discussion. This week, we like to talk about legal news. It's probably a little bit lighter. You were we talked about some really good positive things. This one's probably going to be a little
more positive,
negative. But
could it get any better?
Oh, it can. Just wait.
Let's see.
I can see the screen.
I'm excited.
We're going to start off hot on this one.
Coming in hot, Pete.
This is a story posted May 8th. The title, Hilton guest claims he woke up to hotel manager sucking his toes.
Great pause. Thank you for that.
I had to let the laugh go in. Toes. Sucking his toes in a lawsuit.
To be fair, maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm just going to wait till you guys comment.
Well, Peter brought up a good point. He said, I'm pretty sure it was just a toe. And I was like, that's fair.
Where did he wake up exactly?
In his room.
So this was, yes.
Question, right?
In a Hilton hotel room.
This gentleman is from Dallas, I believe.
End of story.
Yeah.
End of story. Right?
Yep, but he's in Nashville.
You find me someone from Dallas that doesn't want their toe sucked.
Mark Cuban. The Cubes is not doing that.
Ross Perot, probably.
No, he's not. Yeah, because he's not live anymore.
T. Boone Pickens.
Same. So, yeah, he woke up, and this was about 5 a.m. He wakes up, and he sees a man sucking on his toe and or toes, and he recognized that as the hotel manager. And he had come up to his room the day before with a second employee to address an issue with his TV. I'm going to just go ahead right now.
Yeah.
There's more to this story.
Wait, hold on. I don't think there is, because when they addressed the issue with the TV, obviously the guest was not wearing socks or shoes at that time. He saw these glorious beauties, and he said, I bet I know what he would like.
He said, I want another set of pillows, coffee service, and see what happens with the feet.
In the story, in the petition, does it say, and then after the guest awoke, the hotel manager stood up and goes, this isn't where I parked my car?
Look, I don't want to run away from this story. Let's.
So this case was filed in Nashville. What's interesting, though, I had not looked more at the actual complaint. It appeared the plaintiff's wife has brought a claim
For consortium?
I assume.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, she does. She brings a cause of action for loss of consortium. Would not probably be something that I'd recommend.
I get it.
Again.
I get it.
Again.
I knew it was coming because
I don't want you to feel like we're monopolizing this conversation. No.
I said Angelina.
This is the thing. There's two syllables there, and I just get kind of caught up.
So
Let's get back to the feet. Can we get back to the feet?
Yeah.
Angelina.
So it's not a whole foot. Or toes.
So I got a couple questions here. One, I guess the wife's claim is like, hey,
You ruined my feet for me.
Those were my toes for my mouth, and now I can't do that anymore. And you took that from me?
No, I think she's probably thinking like, this
Careful.
little piggy.
Careful. Wow. Peter, you have got this off to a very unprofessional start.
The fact that I mean, as y'all know, in the practice, there's so many wild cases with wild fact patterns, but the loss of consortium claim is the one that's kind of interest.
Where's it filed?
Is she
Nashville.
Okay.
Is she suggesting that her marital relations are impaired because of this toe sucking incident?
That's exactly what she's claiming.
She says she claims loss of consortium. It's pretty bare bones. It's
Pay that woman.
in Tennessee.
Let me ask a question. Is there a conflict of interest? Like,
The guy, maybe the guest, and I'm not doing any judgment here, but maybe the guest enjoyed it so much that he no longer is attracted to his wife.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like,
We know
isn't there some assumption of the risk? I mean,
Jeez.
risk?
at a Nashville Hilton, yeah, you assume that risk.
I've never been to Nashville, and to
It's
be fair,
fantastic. The Hilton's great. Managers give you
is that
top-notch
is that where you
service.
saw the Dixie Chicks?
No,
A different.
no, yeah.
Who?
It was just Brooks and Dunn.
This is weird.
At the Ryman.
Strange.
Okay,
It's not
well,
that strange.
Like I said, this could go a long time. It could get very.
Yeah, we're not going to kink
Right.
shame on the podcast unless
feel like the
kink
story has
shaming
legs.
is your kink, and then it's allowed. But we're not going to kink shame.
Angelina, do you have anything to add on this?
Anything to add?
It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
By the way,
She's
creepiest thing you've said so far. It's okay to say no. But would you like to add to this toe in the mouth of a hotel manager?
Do we have pictures?
Gee.
the toe.
Set offsides.
There's surveillance video apparently of the manager going in.
Is that one toe over the line?
I just held back one that would have been too far.
Okay.
And just letting you know, I'll tell you after.
I'm worried that whatever we cover next can't be nearly.
Yeah, we should have.
Okay, do y'all want to go serious?
Yep.
No.
Okay, this is with Angelina's firm.
Oh.
So obviously you don't have to comment on anything, but I think it's with one of the. I'm not sure who. So this is the storyline is multi-million-dollar suit filed after a man was killed with a machete, and it appears to be it's against Magellan Dredging. He was working. The plaintiff was working. He was attacked with a machete by several, at least one employee, maybe others, and he ultimately died.
Jesus.
So Abraham Watkins, Lena Lorenzo is listed as one of the lawyers on this one. So this is Jones Act. I always like to pick out stories that one are interesting.
It's on a
is it
dredging-
longshoreman or
No,
Jones
he's
Act? Were they on
he's
a
a member
boat?
of the crew.
Why was everybody on the boat running around with machetes? It's not like a lot of brush you need to chop down on the ship.
Which is him, not everyone.
Well, it sounds like him and maybe
Sounds like other people have.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie, The Lord
Danny
of the Flies?
Trejo.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
They
talk
were on
about-
a boat, then they're chopping people up, and maybe you have the conch. I don't know.
I don't think they're children on this one though.
Ugh.
Well, I like to talk about Jones Act stuff when we can because that's unique
To the area for sure.
Have you done Jones Act cases?
No, I haven't. So, and you mentioned Lena. So Lena's on Team Benny, and Lena does a lot of Jones Act and a little bit of maritime law. I've not done any of that.
Okay.
So, and I actually don't know about this case.
Not your case. Not your problem.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
These guys know it, and that's what I did a lot of when I was in practice. Because it's interesting. I mean, anything that is like anything that happens,
Anything
bad,
makes it unseaworthy.
Yeah.
It's a bad deal. Featherweight standard for liability.
and so you've got that. And so that would be inadequate crew, inadequate
Safety.
safety training, all that kind of
So
stuff.
yeah, you got to train your people not to attack their
Well,
coworkers.
here's the
with
thing, in a
machetes.
In a normal workplace, if somebody brings the beef, the conflict from outside of the workplace into it,
Mhm.
then that gets the employer off. But I don't think that's the case in Jones Act.
Gets the employer off.
Gets the employer free of liability, you toe freak.
Making sure everybody can hear it.
Yeah. Somebody commits a criminal act without prior notice to the employer, and they bring the conflict from outside the workplace into it. Basically, the employer says, "Look, these crazy people were going to fight. It just happened to be here." I would love to know some facts about that, but it sounds like we don't really have any.
Well, yeah, I'd looked for the case online. I don't think it was filed in Harris County. At least I couldn't find it. So
If they were dredging, it's probably Calhoun County.
yeah, well, we
Because I've got 2 Jones Act cases in Calhoun right now from that came from the dredging that they're doing right now. They got a big one going.
my old firm, we had a lot of cases. Yeah.
What would it take us to get licensed in Nashville? Could we be local counsel for that tow case?
You just want to be local so you can book a room at the Hilton in Nashville.
Test it out.
Golly, you're so good at
Kyle
this,
walks in flip-flops, just, here to check in. These old things?
Hilton Nashville has had a
You guys, do they sell Crocs near here?
so that that was an interesting one. All right, let's go. You guys want to talk some law stuff? Lawsuit alleges Houston area Dairy Queen kept sexual abuser employed after complaints.
Jesus.
Okay, so we know that kind of lays the whole story out. The
Which one was it? Look, I go to a lot of Dairy Queens.
The way you said it too, it's like don't be the one. Don't be my favorite.
Lactose intolerant, but I go to a lot of Dairy Queens.
This one was in Huffman, Texas.
No,
Huffman.
that one.
Is Huffman your jam?
Not
Oh,
you were
Jesus.
thinking of the River Oaks Dairy Queen? Yeah.
Settle
that
down.
one.
Settle down, Peter.
Tanglewood. Yeah. No, but you guys all handle this. Y'all see a
Yes.
lot of
We don't.
cases.
We fire sexual predators immediately, Peter. We don't handle this.
In your litigation, you see cases where people have hired people, usually a
I've had
driver,
a
commercial
bunch of
vehicle
these.
driver.
Bunch of these.
Yeah.
And so, how do you? I don't know. One, how do you establish that they should have? Like, what do you put on the employer, their standard of care, and then how do you show it in the course of a case?
I think a simple background check, and then some sort of
This is going to sound crazy. I'm not sure that I'm answering the exact question that you've asked.
Okay.
The law is if the crime is perpetrated by a vice principal, there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't have to prove, and it makes your case a lot easier, which in your mind might make you think having someone that's a vice principal commit these crimes is going to be hard to find.
I don't think you know what a
Wrong.
Dairy Queen is.
Everybody that's these crimes are always perpetrated by owners and managers. They're the only people that do it. It's not like the random dude working for $7 off the street that's getting grabby on people. It's always the owner. It's always the manager. And like, so how do you prove it? You're like, hey, you did it. And then,
Was it a female manager at this Dairy Queen, or was it a male manager?
Doesn't say.
I didn't want to jump to
Thank you, ma'am.
and assume that it was a male.
Yeah, they don't use
These days
days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
them.
the manager is what they say.
could be a female.
I bet you $1 million it's a dude.
That's sexist. That's sexist. All right, women can do anything men can do, Kyle.
Yeah. Nah.
Even at a Dairy Queen.
They can, but they don't usually.
Okay, so proving it, you run the background check.
I think you run the background check, and I think you have some sort of policy in place where you run it for every employee for every 2 years or something, just to make sure.
You have to tell people that you can't do that, right? It's like an adult daycare. Hey, you're not allowed to touch your fellow coworkers in this place or this way.
And if it's reported, you need to deal with it, right? Like fire someone or
Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody needs to be disciplined or
like-
terminated or
You don't want to overcomplicate this stuff. These kind of cases are the ones where I tell people all the time. I say, if the majority of humans in the world acted more mature than a fourth grader, I'd be out of a job in 2 weeks. This is the same. Like this stuff happens, and if you act like a normal adult business owner, you end it right then.
However,
However,
Dairy Queen takes the opposite approach.
you know what is
this franchise.
You're right. That specific franchise was more interested in protecting the king than the Dairy Queen.
terrible?
done.
Come on, that wasn't terrible. That was solid.
That was a question, though. I think there's a dairy component because the Seminoles case,
Don't even want to know.
the Seminole case on this is called, I believe it's called Steak and Shake.
Mm.
Oh, there is one on Steak and Shake.
Yep,
yeah.
there is 100% one.
And I'm just saying, if you're out for a frosty dairy dessert and you're in Nashville, I'm just kidding. It's bad.
He's a malt. Kyle's a malt man. He's a malt man at heart.
Don't work at Dairy Queen.
Okay, so two things.
Just don't work in general.
Have a formal written policy to deal with this.
Yes.
One, train. And third,
I think an independent investigate. Anytime something like this happens, even in a small business, I think that there's plenty of opportunities for you to hire somebody that's independent to do an investigation.
and I would say if
I went to college with a girl named Pepper Hamilton. Okay.
Jesus, why are we using government names?
And she would do the greatest background checks of all time. Pepper Hamilton. Check it out. Especially if you're a Baylor fan, check out Pepper Hamilton.
Yeah,
It will help you avoid situations like this.
he's dropping a little Baylor.
A little heat on the Bears.
He had all this pent up Baylor from
Wait,
not attacking Ryan Pig last week that he's got.
Baylor has somebody that can do great independent background checks,
It's
and investigations.
It's as though the president of their university was the Sherlock Holmes of consensual sex acts. How could he have known this was going to happen? All right, let's move on to something less
Yeah,
There's
let's bear down.
less gross.
Let's bear down.
Let's bear down.
This is not. I mean, there's no happy lawsuits, Kyle. So this one is just in news.
There are friendly lawsuits.
This is, Texas socialite. Texas
Put it on the
socialite
whiteboard.
sued over suspected drunken driving crash that left.
This is terrible.
Jeez,
This is
bad.
terrible.
Yeah, this is a bad one.
There's a video
Yep.
out there. The Kirker Garcia firm represents the victim. When I saw the video and everything, I didn't know that the defendant, Christina Chambers, was a socialite.
So to be fair, like, I don't know what makes this person a socialite. It sounds like she's unemployed and her husband/boyfriend is wealthy.
I think the socialite usually comes with
Thank you
number
so
of
much.
followers, or you have you have money that where you can just hang out and go to all the different parties and events and all that good stuff.
Is that really? I mean,
That's all.
I don't know.
We
You
used to
think?
be a
Look at me.
country. We
You
used to
think
be a
I know what
front
a
for a country.
socialite is?
yeah. So what is the point? Like, is she really a socialite, or is that just like, is it like, okay, so like at some point when you were out of college, you didn't have a job and you were trying to get a job at Dell, making $27,000 a year, and then some girl at a club on 6th Street would say, "What do you do?" You'd say, "I'm an entrepreneur." I'm a socialite now what women say
No. What? First of all, men
when
can
they
be
have jobs
socialites
making
too.
$27,000 a year?
There's a lot of men socialites. Exhibit A.
Peter Taaffe.
Exhibit A. But second of all,
How identify?
I think it has to do with these people are entrepreneurs from 1970 or whenever you were there. And they are slightly more popular than the average bear.
All right.
People
so
know their names.
this lady got Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think I could probably provide like
Lay it on us,
the very simple explanation, right?
please.
So the Kardashians, right? Everybody knows Kardashians.
Love
So, like,
Rob.
they were socialites. Now they're entrepreneurs.
There you go.
Kim has Skims. Kylie has her makeup line. Kendall's an international supermodel.
Bruce has
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Caitlin has a gold medal from the Olympics, is what you were about to say.
Socialites, and now they're entrepreneurs.
Well, I was.
Interesting. Hold on. Interesting parallel. Didn't Caitlin get into a car accident and also kill someone?
Yeah, 100%. But was sober, I believe.
Maybe the problem with America is these socialites.
Was it pre Caitlin or was it post?
No, it was Caitlin.
It was Caitlin.
Because somebody, I remember, this is hilarious that I'm about to bring this up on a legal podcast, but I was watching one of the roasts of a celebrity and somebody was like, oh, really going all in on the gender change. And I was just like, oh, it's not good. And because there is a misogynistic view that women are worse drivers than men. And that's what the joke that they're playing. And Caitlin actually found that to be funny, albeit very offensive that she laughed at the joke.
We're doing the drag racing thing after this in the parking lot, though, right?
Oh God. Please tell me what we'll be racing?
Pete's got a 1987.
Oh,
Cadillac.
cars. Oh, thank God.
No, mine's like it's like a 99, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got the electric conversion 911.
Oh, maybe.
Angelina.
Angelina's rocking a
Supercharged.
Range Rover.
Yeah, supercharged.
Me and Pig are going to rock his electric blue Lamborghini, I think.
I don't believe you. I don't believe him for a second.
Well, so the bottom line is, so this lady got hammered, lost control of her car. Was that on Westheimer?
Allegedly.
And killed, like, some couple
Head on.
was on a date, and she just
First date.
The one guy.
obliterated.
The guy, the driver, I believe, is the one that got killed.
Where was it?
It's like right here.
Westheimer outside of 610.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was inside.
Yeah, it was inside the loop.
Yeah. There's like maybe a donut place, like Voodoo Donut.
Oh, are you
Place
kidding? It's
Yeah.
kind of Voodoo Donut.
right
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
I mean, that's
So they have a video. of
Watch
that.
There's a video of it,
No,
and
that's what-
she was driving faster than whatever that speed limit is.
driving a Porsche. Like,
I mean, you can if you look at the news story, the cars are.
Yeah, it was a 911. So now she's being prosecuted. There's a civil case by the Kirker Garcia firm.
Who is it? Does it say if it's Steve or Jesus?
It says Jesus.
Nice.
It was the one giving the statement.
Oh.
So we'll see about that. Obviously, insurance.
Mhm.
If you're a socialite, I don't give a shit about your insurance. Take
Yeah.
everything in your bank account.
But it's probably just a bunch of bullshit tweets and nonsense. Like, I don't know.
That's that value.
It's the thumbs thing. That's how you tweet? Just,
I tweet like this
I got you.
because I'm 100 years old.
I thought it was the broken rib.
All right. Back to, so we talk about some verdicts. I
Yeah.
don't think we've talked about this one. This is a significant one. Dallas jury, this is from 30 days or so we're a little late. Dallas jury awards more than $860 million to family of woman who died in 2019 crane collapse. Lead counsel and
Jason?
future podcast guest Jason Itkin.
Is he coming on?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Right, Kyle?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I thought Longhorns
crossed.
stuck together.
Always.
So significant. That comes on the heels of Kyle Finley's
Yeah, there's
500 million plus verdict.
racking up 9-figure verdicts over there.
They
Good for
are
them.
bringing it.
That's just the first of them, though, right?
There's more.
Yeah, I think there was a number more. I think that was the bellwether per. I don't think it was classified as that, but
Yeah.
it's the first of a few.
Well, there are a lot of people that were hurt. So Graystar is a property owner. Biggie Crane was also sued, and I know they were represented by Daryl Barger. They were not found liable at all. The crane company that the crane fell.
Good work, Daryl.
Wait, so who Graystar was off the hook or on the hook?
Graystar is on the hook.
Okay,
Biggie Crane.
my roommate from college is.
I'm always curious about those because sometimes they don't find the entity liable who ends up being contractually liable. You never know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there, but just
The number shows you what kind of evidence there is.
yeah, this is sad. She and her, I don't know if it was her husband or boyfriend, but they're just like making dinner on a whatever night and
Crane rolls over and crushes people.
kills her. Yeah. So that's a significant verdict.
Did you guys see Jacob Karam? Big verdict.
Yeah, he said he's. I actually texted him. He said he would love to come on and talk about it.
He's definitely going to come on. I'm excited. I talked to him about a month ago as he was prepping for this trial, and he was really nervous about the venue, which I think, is it Tarrant?
It was Fort Worth, yeah, Tarrant County.
That is it's difficult to imagine a more challenging venue than Tarrant. But I'm really curious to hear from Jacob. He'll probably be here in another week. I'm really excited to hear how they did that verdict.
He's a super nice guy too, and was a Green Bay Packer,
Green Bay Packer, Memphis Tiger, Texas Tech Red Raider,
Florida Gator.
Friends. He's never a Florida.
I know. I'm trying to get that to stick.
Friendswood, Mustang.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mustangs never punt.
Was that a real saying y'all do?
Shut up.
Just go for it on fourth down.
Always.
All right, next story. Headline is 2 Texas Trump train participants settle lawsuit claiming they harassed 2020 Biden campaign bus.
Quick question on this story: is this the caravan that Trump was telling us all about? He was warning us.
I think it's
They were
different.
coming up from the border. They had a caravan. They had a bunch of mobile homes, and sounds like they got a little bit too crazy around the buses
It was on I-35 coming up south from the border.
on their way to.
I don't think they were coming from the border. Wait,
I don't-
which I'm calling the Trump train the caravan, not the caravan that Trump called the caravan.
Oh, the Trump train. I don't know what the story. This at least involved one white Toyota Tundra. So
That's got caravan
That's
written
Taliban.
all over it.
That's Taliban, though.
that
That's
is-
what they do. They get a Toyota.
I
They
saw
put an RPG on the top. I mean, this is probably Hunter Biden stuff. I'm not sure where the laptop is, but this sounds like it's got Hunter Biden fingerprints.
Mhm.
to frame the story, the Biden-Harris, I don't know if President Biden or Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris were in the bus or not, or if it was just a campaign. Anyhow,
No, they weren't. It was
they've
just,
got it
just the buses.
Why would they campaign in Texas?
yeah, you're right. They come typically just to raise money and jet on out.
Yeah.
But so there's a campaign bus going down the road, a bunch of Trump supporters as
With flags.
evidence
But
by the
these are law and order folks, right? They are Blue Lives Matter. They wouldn't cause mayhem on the highways, would they?
They're back in the blue, but not if the blue is the Democratic Party.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
it's-
he-
the colors are confusing.
Hannah CEH Say and Kyle Kruger were in I believe it was Hannah's truck, but Kyle's driving. Blah, 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 gets, harasses the bus, allegedly gets sued. So they settle. That involves a statement from them, starting with Miss Say, C-H. Looking back, I would have done things differently.
That's a great opening line.
I do not feel that I was thinking things through at the time, and I apologize to the occupants of the bus for my part in actions that day that frightened or intimidated them.
Now, was she actually able to read this statement, or was it translated?
It's probably not as well as I
just make your mark?
Did she put out a version that was translated into Spanish?
I don't know.
Let's be honest, Peter. We know she did not.
But here's the part that I think is interesting about this. So Kruger, her boyfriend or significant other
Of Nightmare on Elm Street.
who is driving,
He's got a shitty first name.
he drops it. Yeah, is it Kyle?
Yeah, it's Kyle.
So
Son of
he drops in though a little adder, and this is a lesson to you all when you settle it.
And his footnote is LOL. LOL, alien face.
LOL,
fingers crossed.
When you settle a case that involves some kind of apology from the defendant, and you write it out and say this is what it's going to be,
And you put a
make
footnote
sure
in.
you say that's all it's going to be, because Mr. Kruger decided to add in something more.
Yes.
He says, I knew my driving was risky, but I wanted to express my opposition to their campaign and send them a message to leave my community. While I regret now participating in such risky activity and apologize to the occupants of the bus for my part in the actions that day, at the time, I and other Trump train participants, we were happy that after our actions, the Biden campaign canceled the rest of their bus tour. So that to me is called chef's kiss.
That to me is a very Kyle thing to do,
Yeah.
which is to apologize,
On
but
behalf
not.
of all Kyles everywhere, let me say this. Every time someone says a noun followed by train, I can't help but flashback to my favorite band, which is the Quad City DJs, who made Immortal come on Ride That Train and ride it. And I feel like there's really nothing else to say about this. Other
There's
than,
not another lyric in that song either besides those words, right?
well, that's the thing, Peter. Once you
I think it
find
says
once you
something
find
and we're deep
perfection
down
in
south
music,
and we're ready to go, something like along those lines.
Oh, there's more.
I don't know that there's much more to add to it, other than maybe these folks they're not sending their best.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Tootsie Roll, another great song from that era.
Angelina, have you ever settled a case that you where the defendant apologized and there was a public apology?
When I was the defendant?
No, the plaintiff. Like y'all have said,
I had
"We're
one
gonna
last year.
pay, and you're also going to
Oh, yeah.
issue this
I
apology."
told you some of these depositions where these guys just fucking fall apart and start crying
Yeah.
and apologize. And then like 2 days later, that firm gets fired and somebody else subs in, like Baker Botts or whatever. Yeah.
We had all have made you have
Me. Yeah.
yes,
No, I can.
cried
Yes.
and apologized.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
No, it's a
that,
lot of fun. I have a lot of fun.
that's a trophy.
I have one from the Alex Jones case. It's on YouTube. You can actually watch me make this guy cry.
So some people like
It's
the
slow.
Hold on. Let me be real clear. Bill, did you make opposing counsel cry or a witness cry?
The witness.
Angelina, are you talking about counsel or a party you made cry?
So the deponent originally, but I'm pretty sure when the other guy got fired, I'm pretty sure that he cried.
Yeah, that if there's some
Magnificent.
way to turn that into like a a deer up on your wall.
Well, I will say also, I won't name the case and I won't name the mediator. The case is still.
Boo.
Well,
Boo.
It wasn't me, otherwise it would be.
We told you you're in the trust nest. There's no repercussions for anything you say
it's
here.
still an active case, so
Oh, that makes
Mhm.
worse.
it's a trucking and a products case, and I settled the trucking part of it, and I'm finishing up the product part of it. But
What was your defect?
was or is.
What's your product defect?
Overactive tear ducts.
I'm filing one tomorrow on underride.
You'll have to talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
We will, but it's a battery cover issue.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
Fascinating in my opinion, but yeah, we can talk.
So what was this at a mediation where someone was this a mediation? Someone cried or some mediator cried?
Well, what happened is, so I like when defense attorneys walk in and they ask the mediator, like, does she know what the fuck is up? Does she know what she's doing? And the mediator's like, yeah.
Like, no, she's an idiot.
And then 12 hours later, it's 9:00. We're walking out, and I got a lot more than they ever wanted. And they're shaking my hand, like thanking me, but because I literally was like, hey, we're at 3, but like 4.5 or I walk. Like if I touch the door, I'm leaving. And they walked in like not wanting to do more than 1.5, something like that.
I usually go with that, but I say blink if you're going to pay me
So,
more.
so like I think that internally they were crying and shaking my hand like, thank you so much.
Underestimated.
True.
Right? Yeah.
It's the best way to do it.
Oh, yeah, no, I could go on a tangent about that.
Underestimated. Yeah.
It's my secret superpower.
I like that you've embraced it.
Yeah.
Mostly with, we can agree though, it's mostly with older attorneys. You only deal with older attorneys on the other side because your cases are big.
Yeah, but yes, I think I think I agree. I think the younger ones are kind of like, but the older ones, I mean,
Why is she yelling at me?
yeah.
Would you rather, Bill, your superpower be pause or fireball?
Oh, shoot spaghetti out of my fingers.
Nice.
Yeah.
You,
I've thought
no,
about
you
it.
do. I saw, because I've had younger female lawyers work for me, and they would come to me when they were dealing with this, and you'd see these older, I mean, because they're younger, it's almost like so patronizing, and you know exactly what they're trying to do. Is that the kind of thing?
So yeah, and that's like another reason. Like I'll throw Mo back in here because he, like I said before, he's really hard on me. He's hard on everybody, but he's been really hard on me. And there's times where like he's kind of tested the waters a little bit, and he wants to see, like, you've got to have a thick skin, right? Like, I'm going to put you on these big cases and I'm not going to be there. Like, you've been working with me for 5 years now. So I need to trust that you're going to get in a room full of dudes that are like been practicing twice as long as you and they're, twice your age or whatever. And I'm not there, but you can hold your own in a room full of those guys. And so
Do you have a particular retort that you like to use with this older crowd of gentlemen?
I'm myself. I'm kind. I'm professional. I'm respectful. I follow all the rules, and to them that's weakness. So then they test me, and I just get them right back.
I have an opinion.
So can I just tell you? So this is like, let me give you an example.
Please.
Let me give you an example. A couple weeks ago, I had never met this lawyer before. I don't even remember his name. But he was the partner. He wasn't working on the case. This is an electrocution case, so we've sued a number of defendants. The intervene. So Randy has the other case. So he's got the interveners. I've got the plaintiff.
It's fun.
It is fun, but Jessica, which I appreciate, Jessica Rodriguez, his associate, is working the case with me. So that's a lot of fun, but they're kind of like, hey, like, we'll work with you, use your experts. And so we just kind of tag team, but Jessica's great. That's a whole nother thing. Who I believe are my target defendants, I get ready for my deposition, and we had a deposition a few days prior, and for some scheduling complications and whatever, we had decided, hey, we have to go do this second one. We have to, it's been rescheduled 3 times, whatever. It's going to be this Friday. We're going to start it at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody agrees, right? There are like 5 of you, but we're all kind of like younger associates, whatever. So everybody agrees. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, we're going to start this deposition at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and we'll get through it, and then we'll go have a margarita. It's fine. It's Friday night, whatever.
With defense lawyers?
Yeah.
Sounds like an awful idea.
Referring attorneys.
Do you guys want a Coors Light?
Yeah.
So I had already taken one deposition that it went very, very well for us and not so well for them. And the like senior attorney or supervising attorney wasn't a part of that. And I think he was just kind of making rounds and walking past conference rooms, and he sees that there are a bunch of us like sitting in a conference room at 5 o'clock. And I think that he, and I say a thing based on like his associate pulling me aside and being like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so fucking sorry. So I think he kind of like looked the room and was like, why are they still here at 5? This girl probably doesn't know like what she's doing. They've probably been here since 8 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And which wasn't the case. But even if it was, it's still my deposition and I'm paying for it. So I get my hours. Like, follow the rules.
You want to take breaks? Fine.
Yeah, exactly. So he comes in and he demands a break. He's not like, I'm sorry, this is not your deposition. So, but he sits down and he says, we're going to go on a break. I say, okay. I'm not going to fight him. Okay, sure. And he says, come with me. And I said, I stand up and I put my hand out. Hi, I'm Angelina Wike. I'm with Abraham Watkins. I represent the plaintiffs. Who are you? Come with me. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to play along. So he takes me down this like hallway and this other room and this other room. And this, I don't know where I'm at, But we go, and thankfully the associate's with us. This guy looks harmless, but he pulls me into this room, and it's like a media room, but a conference room, and there's a bar, but there's a TV, and we're looking in the Galleria. Yeah, and I'm like, so what's going on?
Sounds like what we're in right now at Kyle's office.
He says, hey, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. I'm trying to take my deposition, and you're interrupting my deposition, so I don't know what you needed from me, but if this is all that this is, I'm gonna leave. He's like, no, I just look, I've worked with your firm. I know the partners. I don't know who you are, but I've worked with them, and look, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday. Like, let's just wrap this up. He said, what are you, like a subcontractor, or like, what are you?
He said it to you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And so I just said, look, I'm not going to engage. Okay. I said, I work for Muhammad Aziz. If you know him, then I don't need to tell you anything more. You already said you're familiar with my firm. This is my deposition. I'm paying for this deposition, or my client is. And you might not realize we just started, but I'm not going to engage in this. I don't know what this is, but I'm not going to do this with you. And I said, I'm not a subcontractor. I work for Muhammad Aziz. I work on all of his cases, or a majority of them. I've been there for nearly 5 years, and you're wasting my time, and I need to get back. And I started to turn around. He said, no, I'm so sorry, Mama. And he's like, he started to apologize. Long story short, I let him know I need to get back to my deposition now, because I was completely like terrorizing and dismantling one of his clients. And I had done that the week prior, and I don't even think that he knew that. But I got a lot of, great information out of these depositions, and it was very favorable to us. And I don't even think that he knew that or could appreciate that. But I found out later, and Mo was like, what'd you do? Like Friday, I got like this late email, this like huge long apology about how like your associate this and that. And I was like, I don't know, this guy just like, he like stopped the deposition and pulled me aside and asked me what I was doing. And he just kind of chuckled, and he laughed, and he said, yeah, I know you can handle him.
Sounds like he put his foot in his mouth. Toes first. Boom. Recall.
Probably. But no, but that's Mo, and that's
Well, it's wonderful that he has your back that way, and it's sad that there are still lots of lawyers out there that act like dirtbags.
Peter.
The best line was, some partner at this firm, I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
I've definitely forgotten his.
Don't worry, folks. Just turn it the caption.
I don't literally.
We'll post his name in the comments.
I don't have his photo up on behind.
But also because he wasn't the one I'd been dealing with, right? I'd been dealing with the associate and not him. So
still to this day, regardless of age of defense counsel, if it's a male, I have the same entry like opening line. I'm like, whoa, what's with the tucked in shirt? You got a blind date later? Sucks all confidence out of them immediately. They don't know what to say. They're like, no. Like,
no. I got one better for you. You find like a partner who's like recently divorced, like 53 years old.
all of them.
Whoa.
Right.
This is getting real specific. How old are you?
Divorced, like 50 to 53. They're going to say something smarmy to you off the record, and you just look across the table and go, I don't know who you think you're fooling with that haircut.
No, that's a good one too.
You just stop and walk out.
And they just think about it, and they're like, "What's wrong with my
your stepkids?
What's
say
wrong
about
with
that
my
haircut?
shirt?
What would your stepkids say about that haircut?
Oh,
Actually,
you need to act more like the guy your ex-wife is about to marry.
so I look a little bit young, but like 10 years ago, when I looked actually younger than I was. Shut up.
His mom,
Your dad.
The picture on your website.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
every employee has to obligatory walk by and say that.
This lawyer, this lawyer who was not that much older than me was like talking shit like he was 100 years old, and I was like, "Hey Ted, I hope you break a hip, you old woman." And then like 3 weeks later, he actually fell down the stairs and broke his hip.
That's actually a serious injury for even a 53-year-old.
Yeah, especially if you're
I hope his wife got what was coming to her fair in that divorce.
What does that?
Settle down, Bill.
I don't know.
All right.
You know what? We need to find a defense, like one of the female-friendly divorce firms to be not a sponsor for the podcast, but just like a sponsor for Bill.
I am pro everything.
Yes.
I don't see lines or colors or anything. I just support whoever. If you're supporting something, I support the other thing.
Bill is literally
and I do it
pro
with
idiot,
zeal
anti
and humbleness.
He's just it's hard to.
Does Bill temper his actions with wisdom? No.
You know what you are? Oh, you are a multitude. That's it.
Thank you.
You're a multitude. It's like Walt Whitman. Do I contradict myself? Yes, I'm a multitude.
I feel seen because a lot of people say, "Are you Walt Whitman?" I'm like, "No, he's not with us anymore." But
He's from Friendswood with Kyle.
Mm.
This is maybe the worst podcast we've ever had. I want to apologize to you, Angelina.
No.
You were the bright spot.
Pete's the one that brought up the toe mouth thing.
Sorry, we've got a couple more, then we're going to wrap it up.
Can you get hoof and mouth from?
Yeah.
We got
All right.
good question.
Y'all do medical malpractice?
Yes.
Any of y'all?
Like one a year.
I have like probably 7 or 8 right now.
Angelina?
So I have referring attorneys that send me Mid-Mel. I don't work the Mid-Mel, but Mo does some, and Rana used to do quite a bit, but less now. And Mo only just cream of the crop.
So as y'all know, there was a time that courts were kind of making everything that even smelled like a hospital fall under the Med-Mal.
If you even look at the sidewalk of that hospital, Med-Mal.
But my sense is it's kind of being tailored back a little bit.
Yes.
You guys look at the law. I have to look at it sometimes.
I just want them to adjust the damage caps for inflation.
So, yeah, well, because the damage caps are $250, is it? But
non-economic.
More than one. Oh, plus economics. And then if you've got a hospital and a doctor, you get both.
And then there's a different cap if it's a public institution like a university.
Well, the Fourth Court of Appeals which is San Antonio, in a May 3rd opinion, decided whether SeaWorld is the defendant, whether a case should be dismissed because the plaintiff didn't have a expert report, and they would only be required to have that if it was a Chapter 74.
Wait, were they trying to say that because they were giving medical care to those trapped, endangered orcas?
Exactly. That's why we write headlines that get the...
Are we going to talk about Tillamook?
No.
The whale?
The killer?
This guy was at he was in a wave pool, and he started drowning or something, and the lifeguards tried to engage in rescue efforts, and they were unsuccessful, and he died. So they were trying to say that was SeaWorld's lawyers were saying...
Wait, SeaWorld has a wave pool?
Yeah, I guess so.
Nice.
I mean, we can...
Is this in San Antonio?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Not going to look at orcas endangered in a fish tank with
we could still
friends.
go. I'm just saying maybe a lazy river action, maybe a wave pool, see the Alamo.
Did we have this conversation already? No one likes the Alamo. It's the size of a closet.
We've had that conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Then you see it and then you turn around and you go, oh.
The river walk. We could do the river walk. That'd be fun.
You drink a giant margarita.
And you go to the wax museum.
Wax museum.
This has been Ray's resolve.
Yeah.
You know what we're doing next time.
I feel like Jeb Bush is like super sad that his son has to organize the Alamo for people like you.
So
people like you.
Back to the words.
People like us.
Careful with your words.
People like us.
Am I part of that?
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Misogynistic much?
Do you have a coonskin hat like Davy Crockett?
Fell down.
Whoa.
You get those ones at the...
Yes.
That's what you get. I have
a flint.
You think he doesn't have one?
You think I don't know it?
Oh.
Boy, he literally started to get up.
It's literally...
It's in this office.
Yeah, Jack was playing with it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question on that was lifeguards, were they licensed, certified, registered, or chartered by the state of Texas to provide health care?
Are they saying lifeguards who render first aid are doctors?
Our healthcare providers.
It's like a pool situation, like a wave pool.
But
it's for humans. There aren't
there's no
orcas.
I've got like
they're across the sidewalk.
That would be a good ride. Like you get a wave pool with an orca.
They have a whole documentary on that.
That'd be freaking baller.
Tillicum literally had his own wave pool with people.
Suggested this, which is a little bit far afield, which is so they do the zoo lights.
Yes.
At the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to let you like walk around all of the animal cages. And there were just signs that said, please do not use flash photography. And of course, every idiot at the zoo is like,
of course,
lion, baby lion, tiger, or want to do the flash photography. And all these lions are going insane, salivating because they eat at night. They hunt at night. How much money would you pay to like sit in a tower above the zoo, and then for 15 minutes they just open up all the cat cages during zoo lights? You pick the night. You don't tell anybody else.
I'm going to answer your question.
I would pay. I would probably pay
an uncomfortably large amount.
Yeah. Probably.
Do I get to pick the guests for that night?
No.
Because that would be fun.
Well, you could plan it ahead, but I'm just saying, like, if you,
Seems like an
I'm
episode
not a
of
wealthy
Saw.
person, but like 20, 30 grand to watch,
Episode of Saw.
just to watch, like they just like all these people with their flash cameras, and then the gates slowly open and the tigers and the lions get loose. That would be amazing.
Well, you heard it here first.
That is entertainment.
Kyle Herbert today just announced he'd pay $30,000 to watch a bunch of people get slaughtered by large cats.
No, not slaughter.
Just the ones who got eaten.
Like
This is the ultimate game, right? Human beings with their amazing intellect,
Yeah.
people that are going to zoo lights, trying to avoid being devoured by lions, that they can taunt with flash photography. I mean, it sounds like the best thing ever. Get me a Kardashian in there. Give me a Kardashian, I'll double the price. Give me a Caitlyn.
I would double. Yeah, I'd double. I would. Yeah.
I'll go 60 grand. You get me a Kardashian.
I'd go 70 if we did the mom, whatever her name is.
Why the Kardashians? Because they're kind of a social touchstone.
And you brought him up.
Also, things you're...
Here's the guy who said, "What's a socialite?"
Oh, good call.
Oh, what are you underestimating? The amazing lateral speed of your typical Kardashian.
And just so we're clear,
No.
I just want to make this clear for the podcast and all of its viewers and listeners. Kyle he towers over the average height of a male in the United States currently. I just want y'all to know that. I did not think so, but it turns out that is a very important inch.
What were we on? We were on
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
Yeah.
SeaWorld,
Well,
So
They're
this is a-
trying to make lifeguards doctors.
they tried.
it's failed. Yeah. So if you have,
Yeah.
SeaWorld catches some eyeballs. Lifeguard issue not covered by MedMal. That happens.
Good.
It's probably
That's the right
more
ruling.
common.
But so
Texas Supreme Court's going to
like to literally think like a lawyer, there are occupational codes specifically applying to lifeguards and water parks,
right.
which would suggest to me the legislature has carved them out from any sort of protections for MedMal.
You sound like
chiropractors.
Really, is that what they talked about?
There's a number of chiropractor carve outs. They're not
They're
immune.
the doctors?
well.
No, they fall under 73.
Right, but there's a big difference between a 16-year-old lifeguard.
And a guy who got an associate's degree in science and then got 2 years at a college in Pasadena, Texas, and wears
Hey.
a lab coat.
So the Fourth Circuit said these lifeguards.
Yeah. So this will have some application because I'm sure there's quite a few cases outside of SeaWorld where there's a similar allegation. Lesson is lifeguards do not have a very good lobbying organization.
What if you have a pool at a rehab facility? And they have
Like aquatic therapy type.
Yeah, like a lot of pain management.
It's really interesting.
It's,
That's
you know,
maybe an untested.
it's extremely specific to one, need a lifeguard then, and then get one that doesn't render you the right.
I actually have.
But they don't
clients
have lifeguards.
that are doing aquatic therapy. I don't actually know the answer.
They don't have lifeguards. I've had
Because your
this-
physical
this-
therapist is, I think it's like a
He's
one-on-one.
a medical doctor.
as a person who's broken his back and his leg twice and has had to relearn to walk underwater a couple times. They don't have lifeguards.
It's like a walking John Wick. Just
If you're going down there like you're damaged goods, just let him go peacefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
And they'd be like, he's better off.
there
He's
was
going. He's like, look at him. He's in a better place.
All right. Last story. This is from Florida.
Promise.
Yes, this is from Florida, and so I mean, you start with that. That's a meme or whatever gift.
Florida man.
Are we stealing crab legs from Publix, or are we converting Medicare checks at a Piggly Wiggly in Tampa?
No, 2 middle fingers to Disney.
All right. Storyline: McDonald's found liable for hot chicken nugget that burned girl. Okay, it harkens back to our little.
I hate
Hot
that. I hate that headline because there's
Yeah.
no way they're telling us what actually happened.
And every story that I've seen also goes, oh, by the way, remember that burned coffee?
Coffee.
That caused like.
But if you watch the documentary, you realize that was so much better. But it took them like, I don't know, a decade, 2 decades to get it out.
Yeah. So similar deal. It was hot. There's warnings.
And it's probably coming in via a Happy Meal that is made for a child.
Is it like magma hot? Like
But does it matter, like kids meal versus adult meal?
I think so because you know that the kids meal. No, because I think adults know that sometimes food is hot. But when you're giving it to them in a
But a child's not going to read the warning. It's the adult that's
I don't think it's a warning thing. I think it's a let the
You
food.
got to tell us, what are the weird facts about this? There's got to be something more to it.
There's no dispute the nugget or McNugget caused the burns. The family's lawyers argued the temperatures were above 200 degrees,
Okay, that's a little hot.
while the defense said, it was only 160 degrees.
Is 160 a lot for food?
I feel like it is.
It still seems high.
it was she child.
Yeah, a little.
Well, so she burned her mouth.
Yeah.
I think it landed on her.
Oh, she didn't even bite into it. It's like the outside of the hot pocket.
It's did she have a burn in her hand, her mouth, or just her lap?
Yeah, she
what happened. How did?
Yeah.
So she didn't touch it.
No.
Picked
was
it
on
up,
her leg.
burned her finger, dropped into her leg,
Yeah.
seared a nugget.
All right, that's
Scar.
kind of a different deal.
Yeah.
If it's so hot that you can't touch it with your fingers and it burns your leg,
Imagine if she bit into the inside of it where it's all the juices from the great high-end white meat they put in those.
I mean, it sounds delicious, but also dangerous, which is maybe why.
What was it? Did they say did they settle it or was it a verdict?
No, they got a verdict, and the way they did it,
Oh, wow.
they did liability first,
Better
and
be
then they'll
more than-
move to damages.
Better be
next.
more than-
Florida.
It better be more than two million for this little girl.
70 billion nuggets a
We got
day.
2 point.
Nuggets for life.
We got 2.2 million. That's what the Florida jury. Wait, where in Florida?
Fort
Beach.
Lauderdale area.
Yeah,
South,
easy
South.
2+. Does it say what a verdict is?
How old is she?
Say again.
How old?
I think 4 at the time.
Jesus.
It's 2019. It says, yeah. So she must have been 4 at the time, so she'd be
And
8.
Who's taking their 4-year-old to McDonald's during COVID?
It was 2019.
Wait,
pre-COVID.
Did we get the verdict?
No, they
Oh.
did a liability,
Oh,
and
So
they
haven't
moved to
tried
damages.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So did she?
You know what they're going to submit as a damage model.
Plastics and all of that.
They didn't get into that. I guess they didn't have to because it was just a liability question first.
I'm wondering if McDonald's is going to try and settle based on a number of sauces.
How many did they have?
But you're
Not as many
7
as
sauces,
Chick-fil-A.
but they charge you 30 cents a sauce though.
They charge you.
I don't.
Kyle's a sauce man. No,
Wow.
Kyle brings his own sauce.
My body's a temple. I don't need a McDonald's.
He only uses Kansas City barbecue sauce.
And
All right.
whatever they have at Whataburger.
With that, I'm going to.
Pete, no, we can't end. This has been so good. This has been so fun.
Do you want? There's no more.
No, really?
No, we've covered the.
Dude, we just went through a lot of stories, way more
Yeah.
than we usually get.
Weren't there some earlier you were like, no, this is too risque?
That was the toe in the mouth.
And that's why we led with it.
That's why I said, and I saw the headline, so I said, wait, is this the one where the manager put the toes in the mouth?
I know. All right. Well, Angelina,
Thanks
Just call her Angie.
thank you so much for joining us.
for having me.
Bill, welcome to the team.
Hey,
Bill, thanks for being
happy
here.
to finally be a part. I'm ready for my swag bag with my vest.
We're going to sell totes.
You got some
Commemorative
some folks
takes.
coming on the horizon.
And Pete, thanks as always for doing the absolute bare minimum.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Josh, Chaos Theory, thanks for hosting us.
You're the best.
And we'll sign off. We'll see you next week.
He's our DJ. He's our guru. He's our technical director. Thanks, Josh.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also visit our website at www.dirtyverdict.com. If you are interested in coming on as a guest or have a story idea, please email us at story@dirtyverdict.com.